actually rewind and back in time and go into the time and like try to change things. It was crazy. That's why they call it deja vu.
Oh, that's crazy because God was showing me something about that today too. I was just waiting for it. Hold on a second.
It's over.
Man, Lord, keep my food warm.
It's over.
Give it to me.
Yo, that's a lie. Alright. So God was showing me something about memories, right? If it's all like your brain is all electrical impulses, whenever I teach you something, like God said everything you have is already inside. It's a spirit stored up inside him. But we forgot it. That's what the Holy Spirit is there for, to store it up inside him. But we forgot it. That's what the Holy Spirit is there for, to bring it to remembrance. If I teach you something, that means that inside my brain there has to be connections to be made. You know, when a baby's being born, they're saying that they need to play with all those weird toys like the noise makers. They have to play with all that stuff, otherwise their brain won't learn all that stuff. So as your brain makes different connections, different nerves connect with each other, it links everything up. So if they want you to forget something, they just have to figure out how to change those impulses so that way it's disconnected.
That's why Man in Black had that thing.
So it can't go there no more. I'm pretty sure that there was somebody that studies the brain. They could tell you all that stuff is true. I could be wrong. So I mean, I'm not trying to tell you that I'm perfectly knowing this. And once again, somebody could think I'm crazy, but you know me. I don't watch sci-fi movies, and I don't even study this kind of stuff. I do music. So I mean, why would I be telling you about something like this? But I know on that ride, Body Wars, and they went inside the brain. There was all them little, when they had the brain part, there was all these little electrical things going around each other. And I was like, man, that's crazy. You know, now I'm thinking about that's crazy. You know, think about this too. If they want to bring you back to life, what do they use? A defibrillator, which has an electric shock in it. It goes to your heart, and it jumpstarts your heart.
It's like your computer, basically.
You're basically a computer, but what did it say? They created in their own image, right? Look at them robots they created.
Oh, yeah.
And also think about this too. A computer doesn't know emotions. This is another thing about analog and digital. Analog includes a lot more than digital does. I mean, analog and digital are the same thing, but analog is like you can feel it. Digital is just there. You know, so if me and him wanted to talk to each other, and like we were on the same curve, you could say that was digital communication. But if I wanted to speak to him and I wanted him to hear it, that would be analog. That's how sometimes I can be speaking to you in the analog, but you're hearing from God in the digital because you're translating. I don't know. What I was talking about encryption earlier, right? Remember I was talking about that with the encrypted code. There's certain things that the digital can understand and transfer information, but in the analog you can't see it.
So that's why they be like, you gotta get a high definition for this certain thing, or you can't see it. Like some things like you about to watch a high definition basketball game, but my TV is not high definition.
Yeah.
It's like ESPN HD, but it ain't HD on my TV.
Yeah, because you don't have a high definition TV. But this is even crazy because they say by the year 2009 there's a law that all cable channels have to have the digital signal. And I was like, in my head I was thinking, I seen a commercial and I was like, why would they say something dumb like that? I mean, why would they make that a law? Is that even something that you can make into a law? And then when all this stuff started coming to, I was like, you know what? I don't care. Somebody could say that I'm crazy for thinking that, but I don't tell them. I only told you two right here, and then I just let it sit around in me, you know, like to think about it. But I was like, that's crazy because, I mean, look at the movies that come on TV now. I mean, movies like Men in Black. That's the reason why people don't believe this stuff, or like people don't let it come to them because, I mean, think about movies about the church. I mean, look at how that has blown up the church. When was the last time you went in church and you seen some of the stuff that they actually put on the TV about the church? I mean, look at Medea, the movie Medea. When was the last time you walked in church and somebody pulled out a gun, you know, and started shooting? That ain't happening in my church anytime soon, and anytime in the future. When was the last time you've been in church and in reality they actually started prophesying over people and they started floating in the air and all these miracles happen? That ain't happening in my church. We go to church, pastor gets up, he preaches, and then he sweats and he sits down, and then we all go home. That's what happens in my church. But people think, because they watch TV. What's another way to reach people with subliminal messages? You know, with the frame rate and all that stuff. Somebody actually, you know that the frame rate for America is 29